can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you must keep moving forward. So, my brothers, my sisters, most welcome guests, and anybody who has ever been stopped at a turning point in life, we get to make a decision. Do you give up, or do you keep moving forward? That quotation, Martin Luther King gave that, is during the 60s. It was at a college rally, and he was trying to empower the young people. He wanted to get the young people involved in the civil rights demonstrations, peaceful civil rights demonstrations, because he knew the young people were the leaders of tomorrow. He wanted to make sure that they were on side. Martin Luther King had a big dream. Very big dream. Everybody knows. I have a dream. Everybody knows about Martin Luther King's dream. So what about in here today? Has anyone got a big dream in here? Anyone want to share? Anyone want to share? What's your big dream? Anybody want to share the big dream?
My big dream is for everyone, all of us to work together as one to try and make changes, because we can change the world.
Awesome. What's your name, please? Awesome. Give her a round of applause. Yes, sir. What's your big dream?
My big dream was being here tonight.
Awesome. Woo! One more big dream. Okay, because one of the things we know about big dreams is that there's no straight line to get to that dream. Would everyone agree? Yeah? If you've got a big dream, I mean, you can have small dreams, medium-sized dreams. If you've got a big dream, it's going to take a big amount of effort. True? True. So the thing is, when we get these big dreams and we get to turning points, we get stuck with this dream, and we have to make a decision. Do I move forward, or do I stay where I am? I had a big dream. I want to share this big dream with you today. And I want you to imagine that you were there with me. I was at work. I'm an IT guy, analyst program, sitting at my desk. Manager comes over. Hey Don, could I have a quick word? Sure, Kevin. What's up? He says, I want you to come into the office with me. You just need to have a word. Now, the experts say that there's 60,000 thoughts that we have in a day. Over 60,000 thoughts we have in a day. My walk from my desk to the office, I felt like I had 1,000 thoughts. Is it my promotion? Has somebody given some bad feedback about my work? Is it just another one of those chats about the pension? I didn't know what it was, but I was curious. Done. We're merging our department with Barclays, and there's 90 people at risk, and you are one of them. I knew the answer to the question, but I had to ask, what does at risk mean? Have you ever asked a dumb question when you were in a state of shock? My heart was beating faster, and stuff was going through my mind. I've heard about people being made redundant before, but not me. I've had a job continuously. Since I was 18 as an apprentice, I had a job all the way through. The only time that I had off of work was when I was sick, or we went on family holidays. We had holidays to Spain, we had holidays to St. David's, St. Lucia. Maybe this year, we're going to Southend. It was a tough time. Next thing I heard Kevin say, I'm at risk as well. Kevin was the boss. He was a tall guy, athletically built, similar build to myself, but in that moment, Kevin was bent over double. He looked like an old man. I felt sorry for the dude. He was the boss. But then again, if the boss is in trouble, what about the rest of us? What about us? You know, we went back to work best you could, and I remember saying to myself, thinking to myself, no matter what, some good must come of this. Because I've always had that. My mum and dad always raised me to believe that anytime something bad happens, some good will come from it sometime. You don't know when, but it's going to come sometime. So that's the thoughts that I had. About 6 months later, we had a town hall meeting. Sure enough, 90 people laid off. Only 10 people were going to be kept in the transition. 90 people, just imagine. And the thing is, we knew that we were going to be laid off from the first meeting that we had. But you know, the moment when you actually get the bad news, you get the confirmation of the bad news, it still hurts. It still hurts. The pain comes back again. You know, you think to yourself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm a guy, my IT skills are being outsourced to India. I'm a guy, we've got a mortgage, we've got 3 kids at school, we've got the car loan to pay for. I mean, the 30 grand, yes, it'll clear some of the debts, but where's my next job coming from? Will we have to sell the house? Will I have to sign on the dole? You know, for the first time in my life, as an adult, as a father, I felt helpless. First time ever. I was stuck. I was normally the guy, I had all the answers for everything. I was a comedian, I was a motivator, I was an energizer, I kept things going, but this time I was stuck. Have you ever felt, any time in your life, you had something which crushed your self-worth? It was a tough time. But the thing is, redundancy means different things to different people. There was a 24-year-old guy, Tom. He was about 24, he graduated, it was his first job. He's only been there a couple of years. He didn't know what his next step was going to be. He felt he'd be able to get a job. He didn't get a massive payoff. There was Ranjini. She was a mother. 2 children under 5. They were going to nurseries. She was working part-time. 3 days on, 1 day off. Her thought was, who's going to want to employ me with my schedule that fits in with me and my kids and the family, etc.? And there was Martin, man. 25 years Martin had been at the company. Do you know what 25 years means? 6 figures. 125 grand cash in his hand. His smile was ear to ear. Just imagine. But you know, I was worried about me. What about me? What's going to happen to me? I didn't know what I was going to do next. You know, as time went on, I kept thinking, I have to keep forward. My mum and dad's thoughts in the back of my head, something good will come of this, son, something good will come of this. And I just kept thinking that. A little while after I left the village, as it was then, I met my sister-in-law. Now, my sister-in-law, she was a business lady. My mum would call her an entrepreneur, because my mum's Jamaican, she's got a funny way of saying entrepreneur. So she was an entrepreneur. She created businesses, she made money, she sold business, she created another business, and she knew that I was at work at the time, and she said, hey, come to this seminar. It's an investment seminar. You're going to find out about investments. So I went along, because I'm open to anything. They were talking about investing in houses, investing in shares, investing in all sorts of different things, jewelry, etc. And I found it interesting. But you know, there's one thing that stood out to me, what this guy said. Always be investing in yourself. Always be investing in yourself. And he followed on, he said, if you can invest in your mindset and your skill set, anything is possible for you. Your big dream, anything is possible for you. If you can invest in your skill set and your mindset. So I took that thing, always be investing in yourself, as my mantra. Always be investing in yourself. Always be investing in yourself. So I started reading business books, listening to audios. I was going to seminars. I was capturing everything I could. I set the environment up so I could learn so much. I was overflowing. Abundance of information, abundance of skills. Still didn't have a job, but I was abundant in some way. You know, one day, I felt like I'm walking encyclopedia. The thing was, the knowledge was flowing to me, but it wasn't flowing through me. Because I believe that when we have skills, we have knowledge, we have something that we can share with other people, we should do that. So one day, I was in a quiet time, said to myself, asked myself what I call a power question. How can I use what I learned and what I've been through to help other people in the community? The answer never came to me straight away. It took a while to come from, but I sensed that it was something to do with helping other people who have been through situations I've been through. People who have lost their jobs, people who have lost their home, people who are not sure what to do next to get their life back together. That was my mission. But you know, through that all as well, there was something else, which was a lesson that I learned later on. Always invest in yourself as someone who is an employee means that next time, if I work for a company, if they're laying people off, I don't care. My mindset, my skill set is up there. Most other people, they're average. They don't think about investing in their mindset outside of work. They don't think it's investing in their skill set outside of work. Unless the company sends you on a training course, most people don't get any training. My mindset, my skill set was up there. So in a way, I built my own parachute. So if this company says, right, we're letting people go, I'll jump off. Got my parachute, no problem. Now I'm going to be concluding shortly, but I want to share one more thing that I learned, which I think is very crucial. Because let's just imagine that we can live 3 lives. I don't mean you come back reincarnated 3 times. So 3 lives is like, the first life is what we call the cage life. So we know that a lion, for example, in a zoo is in a cage. Yeah, a lion's in a cage, and the cage is a certain size, and all the lion can do is walk around the cage, just the perimeter of the cage. Yeah? So the lion gets conditioned in that way of living its life. You know, lions are meant to be way out there, roaring, and king of the jungle, etc. But we could do that too. We could end up being that person who is in the cage. We get conditioned by our family, we get conditioned by our society, we get conditioned by what we watch on TV, and we end up being just a 9-to-5er. You get up, you go to work, you come home, you have dinner, you watch TV. That's it. That is life. You don't kind of expand yourself. You don't expand yourself. You don't become more than you can be. Now, many people out there, maybe some in here, live a cage life. And I don't mean it in any judgmental way. And the way that people come out of the cage life is generally 2 reasons. Inspiration. You see someone do something, you think, I want to do that. I could do that. Man, they got a mindset and skill set upgraded. Now look at that. Money, car, whatever it is for you. But there's the other side of the coin, which is desperation. And we all know, I mean, I know many of my friends around my age group recently passed away. Cancer, diabetes, whatever. Stuff happens, and it makes you think, man, I've got to get down to the gym. I've got to start drinking those green juices and all that stuff there. So inspirational desperation. But the second type of life is what we call a comfortable life. Comfortable life, now, this is a good life. Comfortable life, you've got a job, you've got family, you've got houses, you've got cars, you've got all that stuff there. And life is good. You know, you use your greatness that you're gifted with to actually become a comfortable person. You became comfortable. And once in a while, as a comfortable person, you get that voice in the back of your head, and you think, hey, Adrian, is this all there is for you? And you kind of entertain the thought, because you think, maybe I could be upgrading my skills, maybe I could be expanding my knowledge, maybe I could be meeting with some other people who are doing something different. Maybe I could be getting together people in the community, like China, for example, and making a difference there. But you know what? As soon as the thought comes to you, it goes away. You stay in a comfortable life, because a comfortable life is cool. And here's an example with the lion, going back to the lion. I've seen lions in the wilderness. They're not like Windsor Safari or wherever. They're not in the cage anymore. They're allowed to roam freely, but they're still in the confine. It's a bigger cage. It's a bigger cage. They're you know, a wildlife safari park, and people could go and drive around, and they could go and almost stroke the lion. I mean, I wouldn't do that myself. That's a comfortable life. It's better than a cage life. Come on. It's still a comfortable life. But the third life is what we call the courageous life. The courageous life is where you recognize that you come to the world with gifts, you come to the world with uniqueness, you come to the world with something special, and you saw it, or someone saw it in you, and you said, I'm going to develop this. I'm going to be like Kimberly, and I know that I'm a great singer, and I'm going to sing till the birds try and compete with me. That's how good a singer I'm going to be. You know? Like Triple C, he goes up there, he's going to be a rapper. He's got a beautiful name, Triple C. Imagine that, man. I have to get a new name for a speaker. But, you know, these people, yes, and there's more people in here. I don't know everyone's name. They see their greatness and they develop it. They say, I'm going to be courageous. I know the road is not going to be straight, but I'm going to move forward because someone else has done it. I can do it too. Now, courageous people, Martin Luther King, when he was at that college rally, and he said, if you can't fly, then run, then walk, then crawl, all that stuff there, he was living a courageous life. He was living a courageous life. One of my favorite authors, Maya Angelou, passed away not long ago. When she said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. That's a courageous life. Imagine me saying that to you guys. You'd probably stone me. But here's the thing. With the courageous life, just imagine, okay, I think there's a few kids in here. We were all kids, little boys, little girls. Uncle or auntie or teacher or someone came around our house and they said, hey, Mario, what are you going to be when you grow up? Astronaut, prime minister, politician, scientist, footballer, rapper, singer. We had all those great things that we were going to be. That's courageous because we didn't see boundaries. We saw everything was possible. Somebody else did it, so I can do it. That's what you call a courageous life. Now, we all live a different life. And life knocks us around. We get to turning points. And some of our turning points, they're tough. What makes us hang on in there? What makes us keep going forward when we get to those tough turning points? What made the likes of Martin Luther King do that? Nobody knows, you know. But, you know, what I want to say is my turning points, through my turning points, I learned to invest in myself. My turning points enabled me to change my career. My turning points made me realize there is more to life than where I was before that. Because, like China says, it's only our limitation. Anything is possible. Now, I'm going to leave you with this before I run out of time. Turning points shake us. They shake us. Turning points shape us. They change our shape. Turning points show us who we really are. Maybe you're at a turning point today. Maybe, you know, your job is at risk like mine was. Maybe you're just overwhelmed with studies or work or stress or whatever, something. Or maybe, you know, like I know someone you know or maybe yourself is unwell in a really bad way. And it feels like it's on the last legs. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart to yours, keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Yeah. Because, you know, if you can keep moving forward, if you can just take that one step, just one step, all you have to do is one step. What's the next step? It's not all about the big leap. I know the big dreams, and we want the big dream, but you've got to take the small steps to get there. To keep moving forward. So, you know, friends, when you get to the next turning point in your life, what will you decide? Will you give up? Or will you keep moving forward?